Well, today in our reflection, I must admit I'm excited about telling you a story because it's so crazy. I got an unforgettable video message the other night from my oldest daughter. I can't believe this. She lives on the shores of a little lake there in Macon, Georgia. And she's the adventurous type of person. So recently, she got a new kayak. And she was eager to go out on the lake and try out her kayak. Now, did I fail to mention that she also has a dog? A very large dog. When I say dog, I mean the size of a small horse. And on top of that, he's still young. So he's full of life and rambunctious and he gets excited. Now, he's a friendly dog, but he is full of life. So the other day, she decided to go out on her first little kayak adventure out on the lake. Murray, that's the name of the dog. Murray looks out and he sees my daughter out in the kayak in the water, and Murray decides it's a good time for him to take a swim too. So while my daughter is out enjoying the beauty of nature and the kayaking on the water, Murray decides to take a swim too. And Murray swims all the way out to my daughter in the water. As a matter of fact, he swims all the way up to her kayak. Now, I'm watching this on video. She sent it to me on my phone. There's a reason I don't kayak. One of the reasons is these boats, if you can call these little floating devices boats, are small and I'm big. And they require sort of an intricate balance while you're out on the water. Well, I'm watching this video. My daughter's doing a pretty good job of balancing the boat and guiding the boat with her paddle. She's doing pretty good. But then in the corner of the video, here you see big old Murray swimming across the lake, making his way to his owner, my daughter. And he swims right up to the kayak. Now, my daughter, who obviously gets her intelligence from her father, which means she doesn't get much, decides to go ahead and help Murray get in the boat because Murray obviously wants to get on this kayak. So she pulls him up on the kayak. And here I am watching this video. My daughter's on the kayak in the water, and here's this big dog or small horse straddling across my daughter's waist and straddling across his tiny little kayak on the lake there in Macon, Georgia. And it looks like they're pulling it off and it's going to work until Murray gets a little excited and starts flopping around on my daughter's lap, flopping around on the kayak. Suddenly, the intricate balance is gone and the kayak starts to topple. And I could see trouble brewing out there on the waters. Suddenly, Murray toppled overboard, taking my daughter with him and the entire kayak. In a flash, they were all upside down in the water, sinking. Fortunately, they were safe, but they were soaked. I've got to confess, I laughed my head off. I was laughing almost to the point in tears. My grandson, my daughter's child, was at our house for spring break. And I called him over and I said, son, I want you to watch your mama. And I played the video for him. He laughed so hard. He's only 6 years old. And when we got through, he looked up at me and he said, Papa, my mama is crazy. Murray can't fit in that little boat. And I thought to myself, there it is, wisdom coming out of the mouth of a child. Now I know it seems awful simple to say this, but all of them can't fit in that little boat. But if we're honest, we all have to admit we've all overloaded our boat at times, and we know it's the truth. Yeah, that's right. I'm not talking about a kayak and a dog anymore. I'm talking about our lives and the way we live our lives. Admit it. Haven't you tried to fit too many things in your boat? And you come out getting flipped and soaked, and at times you've even felt like you were drowning? The analogy is true. The other day I made a statement in our church that after living in Florida as long as I've lived in Florida, that I'm convinced the number one sin among Christians in Florida is not some great, huge act of immorality. It's the fact that our lives are just too busy. They're filled with so many things that we just crowd God out of our lives. I decided to do a little study. Stay with me on these numbers. From the time you turn 21 to the time you turn 65, that's considered your most productive years. I did a little math and figured that's 44 years, and that's 385,440 hours of productive life that we have from 21 to 65. And I wondered how we spent those hours. I decided that if you spend 40 hours a week at a job, and I know many of us spend more, but let's just say 40 hours a week for those 44 years. If you just work 50 hours, 50 weeks, you get 2 weeks off for vacation. That meant that you will have worked 88,000 hours. Now, here's my point with that. You would have spent 23% of your life working, okay? Then, if you sleep 8 hours a day, you will have spent 128,420 hours sleeping. That's 33%. 1/3 of your life you're going to spend sleeping. So, between work and sleep, you spend 56% of your life, more than half of your life, just sleeping and working. I didn't even factor in how much time we spent eating. We don't want to go there, okay? But I did wonder how much time we give to God. Let's say you're a fine person and you go to church an hour every week. And then you're really a good person. You give God 10 minutes every day in Bible study and prayer. You would have spent 4,928 hours from the time you turn 21 to 65. 4,928 hours, just under 5,000 hours. Do you know that's only 1% of your productive life? Is that too much to give to God? 1%? Okay, forget all of that math because it really doesn't matter. The truth is that every waking minute of my life is to be devoted to Him. It's not just giving Him 10 minutes today, it's giving Him all of today. My work, my play, everything I do is to be built around Christ. Yet so many of us find a hard time even giving God a measly little 1% of our lives. We need to remember what Jesus told us. Jesus said in Matthew 6:33, seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and He'll give you everything you need. Pray about what you're doing with your time, how much you're filling your boat with unnecessary things. Kick Murray out. My prayer for you today is that you will long to be with Christ and not let Him get crowded out of your life. I pray that your desire will be like the desire of Isaiah, who in Isaiah 26:9 said this, my soul yearns for you in the night, and in the morning my spirit longs for you. I pray that every moment of every day you'll have a hunger for God. Here's a thought to carry today. If I don't have time for God today, then I don't understand the real value of the life that He's given me and how much I really need Him. My prayer today is that God will help you realize that every moment you need to be conscious and aware of His presence in your life. God bless you, and don't get your life crowded out today with so many busy things. And